Today on Heavy Metal Frequency, I'm reviewing Evergrey, The Storm Within. And I've always found Evergrey to be a particularly fascinating progressive metal band, and they usually get called a power metal, progressive metal hybrid, but I consider them like their own unique take on progressive metal. They have some melodic death metal elements. They use Boss HM2 pedals. They have the Gothenburg pedigree, as I call it, because they're from Gothenburg, Sweden. There are some power metal notes in their music, but I consider it ancillary, not primary. And there are also elements of things like thrash, doom metal, epic doom. And they started to slow down their sound a lot. And I have a joke that they're slowly turning into like an epic doom, progressive doom hybrid, and kind of like their own take on early Third and the Mortal. And so Distance perfectly illustrates that point. It's a very doom metal, dirgy song. Passing Through has more movement to it. Some really catchy keyboard parts, some awesome solos. Someday is kind of a balance in between. As far as some other songs that are really cool on here, The Impossible is a non-metal, purely orchestral song, pretty much, and it's really, really cool. My Allied Ocean is another Meladeth-esque triplets, At the Gates triplets, scooped mid song that's really, really cool, really catchy, really cynical. In Orbit with Floor Jansen is really, really cool. It has a power metal-ish vibe to it, like a symphonic metal, power metal-ish vibe. The Lonely Monarch has some excellent structures to it. It's really catchy. The Paradox of the Flame with Karina England is a really, really cool song. Floor has another appearance on Disconnect, and it's another really interesting song that's a counterpoint between it's a really dark, cynical song with some Meladeth-esque elements and thrash and Meladeth elements. And then The Storm Within is another kind of doom song. It reminds me of a lot of the stuff on The Atlantic, and it's kind of interesting that this ends with The Storm Within, and it's almost like that song sets up the next album, The Atlantic. It's really, really interesting. And then, as if to perfectly illustrate my point, that they're like a subverted prog doom plus other stuff, some Meladeth, thrash, etc., classical genres. They do a cover of Black Sabbath's Paranoid at the end of the album, which is really cool. It's a nostalgic thing if you're into Black Sabbath, and of course you're into Black Sabbath, you're watching my channel. So this is a fantastic album. I love Evergrey's consistency. Their albums have some similarities, and then they vary as well. They're they're dichotomously dynamic and static at the same time to some degrees, and so some bands are like that. Opeth is very good at doing that as well. And so I love this. I highly recommend you pick up a copy, and pretty much everything Evergrey's done. And I will be doing some more Evergrey soon, just not right now. And so thank you, and please like and subscribe.